how's it drawn here? In this video I'm going to be showing you two different ways of adding animations. The first way is making the animation and model in Blender and exporting it to Unity. And the second way is using Unity to not make the model. Blender is going to do that. However, Unity is going to be making the animation. So, without further ado, let's begin. Okay, so the first thing you must do is let's just create a folder quick. Models, that we can store all our models in. Let's go in that folder. So let's just go in Blender very quick. Okay, so I'm in Blender. I have this little animation. I can show it. It's just a simple flame animation. So what I've learned is about, if you're going to export something, make sure not to use some pure Blender shader like emission or something like that. Just use principled BSDF, because generally it won't work any other shaders. So as you see, I have this little animation here. You should probably name it in your dope sheets. So you should probably name it flame unless you want some weird name. Let's go File, Export, and we have a bunch of settings here, but we need to choose FBX. So if we click on that here, what you must do is you must find your file. So as you see, I found my file. Basically what you'll get is you'll find your Saturn V file and you'll get all these folders, assets, library, logs, stuff like that. However, what we want is assets, which might seem familiar, your scenes and your models folder we just made. And as you see, we have our Saturn V model. So there are a few settings I actually want to change here. So first I want to apply the scalings, and I want the forward to not be the Z forwards. The reason why is, let's just go export. The reason why, because then the Saturn V will be the wrong way round and the nose part will be pointing that way. And so we want the nose part pointing up. So you can either go X or Y, it doesn't really matter. Anyway, I want to apply unit and use space transform, and also a new feature, apply transform. Okay, now let's go export, and I'll meet you in Unity. Okay, I'm in Unity now, and as you see, we have our Saturn V, and as you see, we have this little viewing. So let's just move around in it. And if we press play now, we'll see this little animation. And if it's 2D, you can change it to 2D, of course. So let's keep it 3D. Okay, make sure you're in the animation section and not rig or something else. So as you see, we have this little open arrow. So if we click on that, we get all our different materials and mesh on it. We have our actual Saturn V. As you see, here it is. It's all pink because we haven't dragged in with shaders. And also we see our fire flame, which is our little actual animation. Okay. So what you must do is you must click our Saturn V, click it and drag it into our hierarchy. Okay, let's just move our camera back a bit. Just move it back and up like that. Good. So I just made the background black, but of course later on you might want to make some sort of starry background, but I'm not going to do that in this episode. So if we click on our Saturn V object, it's a prefab. So if you want to change it, select it, right click, prefab, and unpack completely. Okay, so now it's not prefab anymore, however it still has it there. And if we open it, we get our little flame. So what I want to do is on my flame, I want to go add components and animator. Okay, so now let's go to assets, let's make another folder, animations, And let's create an animator controller. Let's call this Saturn V. Okay, now let's select our fire and drag our Saturn V on there. And now if we double click on the Saturn V, we open this animator. Okay, so currently if we just press play now, it would do nothing. So what let's do is go to our models with our little flame. Okay. Oh, sorry. And we must go to our fire, and in our animator full of fire, we must drag it in there, and we'll get this little box with our fire flame. You can change the speed and stuff like that, and I actually do want to do something, not in here though. If we select our animation, so if we select our Saturn V, choose animations, we have a loop time, so we must click that on, or it'll just happen once and then it'll stop. And now if we press play, what should happen is it should have this little animation. Okay, let's apply those. Apply all the import settings. And okay, so I figured out what I did wrong here. I accidentally put on the fire the animator, so just swap it over and put it on the Saturn V, the actual rocket ship, the parent of the fire. And now if we press play, then it will have the little flame effect, as you see here. Right, so the way I did before was exporting the animation, making it in Blender, and then exporting it to Unity. However, Unity also has a nice animator. So I'll show you how to do the same animation but in Unity. So first let's just remove our animator quick. Let's remove components, and in our animator, let's delete that. So on our Saturn V, we need the animator still. However, we're going to make a new window. It's the animation and the animation window. So don't get confused with the animator, they all sound identical. So what we need to do is select our fire, okay, go create, and let's make sure it's animations, fire. And as you see, we have this animation window. So let's just move back a bit. There. So I want to change it to a 2D view because it's easier for me to work, and I need to change this from the move tool or the hand tool to rect tool. And as you see, we can easily do this kind of animation. So I want to choose the enable disable keyframe recording modes, okay, with a handful there. And let's just start with it up high, and let's go down, let's say that amount, make it a little lower, and then copy those keyframes and moving it one keyframe below and moving it a bit before, so it has a nice seamless effect. Okay, let's turn off the enable keyframe, and as you see we have another animator, so we don't want that, so let's just delete the original one actually. Okay, and rename this remove the one. Good. Let's select our Saturn V now. Okay, open our animator, Saturn V, good. Okay, and if we just go to our animator and check, Saturn V, good, we have our fire, and now if we press play again, we should get our little fire animation. And there we go. Okay, so this is the end of the episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye!